Right, mate, whoosh, we're back, Squeeze the Neck podcast, and today I'm Brixton again. This time, I don't know if you can see it in there, Miguel's boxing gym with my new mate, Sammy Free Smoke McKay. How's it doing, mate?
Good, man, good. How are you going?
I'm all good, thanks for having me down, mate. We got hooked up. Who put us in touch? Someone recommended you to me.
Yeah, a colleague of mine, another boxer, Andy, he put me in touch with you saying check these guys out, and
Yeah, he messaged me first. He said, you got to get Sammy on, Sammy would be a great guest, blah, blah, blah. So I said, yeah, put him in touch, and within, I don't know, it must have been 10 minutes. You got back to me, so it was straight on, and we're down. As I say, we were speaking a bit off camera that, I teach and train in Brixton a lot anyway, down the road. Shout out New School BJJ. Easy little trip, mate. And as I say, I'm grateful to be down here. I've known loads of people that come down. Obviously, quite a famous gym in it, but I've never been in myself before. Okay. But before we get into anything else, where are you from originally, mate? Are you a Brixton boy?
Yeah, Brixton, literally down the road. Yeah. Grew up in Brixton, so.
So this is home. This was easy. It's natural progression. How old are you?
Me, 30.
A bit younger than me, bro. That's the wrong answer. Tell me you're like an old man or something. You know what I'm saying? But how'd you get into boxing? Have you always been in boxing early?
No, I've only been in boxing. What now? 2025. So. 2014, if you say properly.
Oh right, so fairly late in life.
Yeah. So I didn't have a start when I was 10 or 11.
No, you weren't like that 6-year-old boxer or nothing. Nah. How'd you get into boxing then? How'd that work?
Basically, I came here when I was younger, so I think I was about maybe like 16, 17. Someone brought me here on like a youth club thing.
Right.
So I did like a 6-week kind of a youth club, come every weekend that I trained. I liked it at the time, but I wasn't really dedicated or focused on it because when you're at that age, your friends are doing all sorts of stuff.
Just a kid, just wants to punch the bag and not really take it serious.
Yeah. So I was like, I like boxing, but I'm not really focused on it.
Yeah.
So then later on, I thought, you know what, let me try to give boxing a go because I really liked it. Then did it help me focus and just helped me to stay more relaxed and more clear thinking.
That's cool. And you start at Miguel's, you said, as well?
Literally always been at Miguel's.
So Miguel's, for anyone who doesn't know, is what? Amateur and pro club?
Yeah, so Miguel's is amateur club, pro club, and does white collar now as well.
Right. And as you can see behind us, MMA.
Yeah, MMA, Muay Thai, Jiu Jitsu, so all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
All goes on down in Miguel's.
Literally,
that's cool. So when you started, what would you have been? Sort of late teens, 20s, something like that?
Yeah, literally like early 20s. Actually 19, I think I was about 19, 19, 20. So I was fairly late to it, but I think I caught up because I just jumped right in.
But it's funny you say that, like sitting, I was going to say our age, I'm a bit older than you, but as you get to that sort of 30 mark, you look back at a 19-year-old, it ain't old at all, is it? When you're 19, you go, oh fuck me, this might be a bit late, but like, listen, 19's young, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I feel like boxing, like not just boxing, sports has changed. Before, when let's say the 90s or 80s, you had to start early and finish early.
Right.
Because obviously science wasn't as progressive as it is now. But nowadays, obviously science has advanced a lot more. So people are starting later and finishing later. Like if you look at certain world champions, like Beterbiev for once, Beterbiev is 41, I think. Yeah. Then you got like another, Zhang's old, he's 40 something as well. Yeah. Then you got a few other boxers that are not as young as some of the other.
But also like Anthony Joshua, he's not old now, but he started late, didn't he? I think he started when he was about 18, 19, do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
so it is what it is. And also, here's my opinion on this as well. Like a lot of people say, oh, you started too late and all this shit. To me, as long as you've done something before, you can't just be like a couch potato and then start at 19. It's passed you by. But if you've been, you could be anything, playing football, tennis, whatever you like. As long as you've been athletic and active, I think 19's still a kid, isn't it? You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, it's about how dedicated you're going to be to it.
Right.
So you can start at whatever age, and after a while you might give up. Because there's loads of people, you probably know as well, that start in young, 10, 11, they get to like 18 and they're like, no, I can't bother to do this no more.
For sure,
100%. Some people that started like late, but because they're dedicated and put the hard work in, they become better than the ones that started earlier because
that's right,
they put in more hours.
Definitely, and there's also the nature versus nurture, or whatever you want to call it, aspect as well. Some people just suck, and some people have just got it, innit? How many people you've seen as well? You was coaching when I showed up today, right? So you see, how many times have you seen a kid that comes in who's, I don't know, 16, and he's just got it, and he's just like, shit, man, he's never trained before, and he's better than the geezer who's the same age as him, been training 4 years. It is what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Some people have just got it, and some haven't.
I would say there's no one size fits all, or just because they started this time or you started that time doesn't mean it's going to be the same result.
No.
Okay? It's different. Like, look at all the world champions in any sport. they all don't have the same background. They all don't have the same teaching.
No. It's funny you say that. Like I was talking Maradona, you know, the footballer, right? Obviously, probably the greatest footballer of all time in a lot of people's opinions. In his documentary, he talks about he didn't play an organised football game until he was 11. Which most people go, fucking no, it's late, isn't it? You know what I mean? I think Federer as well he played tennis early, but I don't think he took tennis as like his dedicated sport till he was about 15. You know what I mean? So before we go on a rant, that's kind of what we're getting at with you starting late, right? But what weight do you box at?
Super lightweight.
Super lightweight. So for anyone who doesn't know, what's that? 64 kilos.
64 kilos. 63.5.
63.5 if we're getting tricky. 140 pounds, right? So when you started, what weight was you? Because you, as I say, you're not a kid when you started, but obviously.
To be honest with you, when I started, I was quite heavy.
Oh, you was heavier.
Yeah,
oh, you was one of them.
Yeah. So to be honest, weirdly enough, I've been fit all my life.
Right.
But like I had a 2-year period where I just got unfit. So I've always been sporty. Like primary school, secondary school, I've been to sports like football, athletics, cross country, rugby, you name it, I've done it. But
badminton.
Yeah, basically badminton.
No, I thought I fuck up what
No, badminton, because the school I went to, my primary school especially, they just threw us into sports.
Right.
Like a sporty primary school, so like volleyball, everything, hockey, everything they threw us into. So yeah, it's like a competitive school.
Yeah, I got you.
So when I started, as I said, 1 year I just kind of fell off, stopped training, I was smoking a bit as well. Then diet wasn't good. Somehow I went up to 90 kilos.
90? Oh wow, and how much are you now, sat here?
Right now I'm about 68.
So it's a big difference, isn't it? For me, like 90 kilos is big, man. 90 kilos
Yeah, when I tell people it's 90 kilos, they're like, no, he wasn't. Then I show them the picture, and they're like, oh wow, was that you? It doesn't even look like me. So yeah, I went up to 90 kilos, and I was like, this is mad. How am I this weight? I'm on fit, I can't even run or nothing. So I was like, that's when I thought, you know what? I might just do boxing, man. Something to keep me dedicated, motivate me.
And was it just a fitness thing, not like a career-looking outlook at this point, or was you in all in?
I mean, it was pretty much a fitness thing, and it was to see what I can do.
Right.
I think, you know what? If I just give this a shot, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I got you. And would you? How long after that did you have your first amateur bout?
It took me a while, to be honest. Not a while, but...
Well, the weight's a big thing, isn't it? The weight would have been an issue to start with.
Yeah, the weight was a big thing, but then, I don't know, I just jumped in. I remember, you know I train people as well. So people always ask me, oh, when am I going to get fit? I don't have abs yet, this and that. Then it always makes me remember the day I used to think like that. I think, oh, my days, man, everyone's got abs, I'm not going to get abs. So it's quite funny. I just said, look, you just got to be dedicated, consistent, make sure the diet's right, and it will come. So back to the saying, when I had my first fight, I think maybe within, I want to say within 2 years. It should have been earlier, but it was difficult to get a fight at that time. The first fight was in Bedford.
Oh wow, okay.
So that's far.
Yeah, it's out.
Considering, it's Bedford. I remember that we drove there, got back late. So
it's one of them, but you know what it's like when you're in the amateurs, you get thrown in the back of a fucking minibus, don't you? You drive to the arse end of nowhere. How far we got? And they go, I don't know. That's what, mate. But they give it how far we got to go. 10 minutes. You still drive an hour and a half later, and it's one of them jobs. But what weight did you have your first bout at? Because you got down from 90 to what?
I did at 60 water weight.
So you got right down straight away. So first bout was in. And how'd you feel at that weight? Because obviously you say it was nearly 2 years, so it wasn't a quick process. But was you good at that weight?
Yeah, I felt fine.
Yeah, you felt fine. Because when you first started at 90 kilos, was you thinking, I'm going to box
I was
90?
Thinking, fuck, I'm not going to pardon me. I was thinking,
you say what you like on you, mate. I say terrible things.
I was thinking, oh, God, I think I'm not going to get fit.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get fit.
But the thing is this as well, when you start boxing and you start getting around adults and sort of youth going into adult, you see people that fight at, I don't know, say 81 kilos.
Yeah.
And you go, he's fucking massive. How does he make that weight?
Yeah,
So if you're 90 looking at him, you're going huh?
Yeah. Because I had a friend of mine, when I first started, this was after a while, after I started getting better, we just trained together. He was a world champion. But,
boxer, world champion boxer? Who are we talking?
Isaac Dogbo.
Okay, yeah.
So Isaac Dogbo was a world champion. But we used to train together for a bit while he was here, he moved to the States. But,
sell out. Isaac, you sell out. Come back.
Well, not Chamberlain, Dogbo. So there's two of them.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So,
Chamberlain's on the wall, isn't he?
Yeah. So he used to walk around at I swear he walked around 70 kilos. This 70 kilos, but he boxed at, I think he boxed at featherweight.
Right.
So he was 58.
57, I think, or 58, yeah, something like that.
I used to think, Isaac, how do you get down That's crazy.
Some people have just got that body though. Some people it just falls off them, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I was thinking, if I ever get to like, see right now I'm 60, if I ever get to like 80, I don't think I'm coming back down. I can't imagine, I can't picture myself coming back down.
Yeah.
Because I know the hard work it's going to take to get back down.
Right, but it depends what that weight's like too. Because like some people, as I say, they're big, but they're, you know, when they start cutting weight, it just falls off them. And other people, we all know them. They train right, they eat well. 2 months later, they've only lost a kilo. Do you know what I mean? They're running in the fucking bin bags every day, and it just ain't happening for them. So like, I don't know how it works with people. I mean, unless they're sneaking in the Krispy Kremes,
different
when no one's
body,
looking. You know what I mean? But it's a funny thing with the weight because you can overdo that, right?
Yeah,
like if I look at you now, you would you say you weigh about 68 right now?
Yeah.
Fight at 63 and a half. That's a pretty good little cut, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas some people will be 68
and get to like,
I'm fighting at 52.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, chill out, you know what I'm saying? But like, what's the weight cut process like for you? Is it fairly easy?
Fairly easy, not super easy.
Yeah, but straightforward. Well, here's the thing, straightforward and easy is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Straightforward, I can do it, I know what I'm going through.
Yeah. Straightforward.
Easy is a different way.
Straightforward, straightforward, I know what to do.
Right.
I've done it for many years, so I've like, the weight comes off.
Yeah, do you feel any different now making it than say 5-6 years ago?
Yeah, because obviously when I first started making it, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was trying everything and anything.
Yeah. Starving yourself is the way,
myself, doing crazy amount of running and this and that. And I think after you've been making the weight for quite a long time, you know what works for your body.
You do. 100%.
Everyone's body's different. Like some people, they might say, oh, if I do sprints, it works. Or if I do running, or if I do this, that. Everyone's body's different. So after a while, you just listen to your body and you know what works for you. Yeah.
Do you think the mindset of it comes, and I don't mean mental toughness when I say mindset, it comes into it in sense of like, when you trust yourself, sometimes things are easy. You know X, Y, Z works for you. You know, you can get a fancy coach come in and overcomplicate it and it just makes things difficult. Do you know what I'm saying? Like people, I think, I spoke about this quite a bit on here recently with people, like overcoaching, not just in the, you know, weight cutting and fitness sense, but actually in like the boxing or jiu-jitsu or whatever you're doing sense too. In terms of overcoaching, this, do this, do this, do this, don't do that, don't do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Where it's like, sometimes you just need to leave people alone a little bit and let them do their own thing and sort of tidy it up.
I think I always have this conversation with some of my friends, especially when they're just starting out. I said, look, listen, as a fighter or athlete in anything, you have to be careful of what coach you go with or who you let coach you, because people may coach you in their way. Right. Because when you're coaching someone, you're meant to adapt and make whatever they have better, instead of trying to change what they have, try and give them something new, and then they have to relearn that. Right. Which can obviously make it more complicated because you're trying to try this and that. Obviously, you can try new things. I'm not saying don't try new things, but you will enhance what they have already and give them a few bits more. Yeah. You don't want to change their style completely. No. That will just mess them up.
Yeah, of course. And also you can, too much too soon is a big problem, isn't it? You know, like how many times, and I've said this on here before as well, like you've been at your call or something and you're watching someone warm up for a bout and the coach going, right hand, backhand, step back, 1, 2, 3. You go, bro, it's too late for all that. Chill out. He's ready. Just teach him how to, just get him jabbing, get him warm.
Yeah, for me, personally, when I go fights and stuff and I'm doing a warm up, I always say to people, look, listen, when you spar, do you do all pads and do you do a crazy thing? You don't. Just do something similar you do to when you spar, because your body's used to that already. Like you might do a bit of pads to sharpen up your hands. Yeah. But just try to keep it as similar to sparring as possible. Right. So you want to do your dynamic stretches, warm up your muscles, and get your footwork ready, get your footwork going. So you don't want to start doing stuff you would never do in your spars. Then all of a sudden, I see some people, they're warming up, but it's like they're having a fight.
Oh yeah.
They're getting burnt out already. I'm like.
Mate, I've seen people in change rooms, and we won't mention any names here, at certain clubs I've been at where you're getting ready for a bout, and they're having their guys do push-ups and sit-ups and squat jumps, and you're like, he's fighting in fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah, literally,
Like, a bit late for all that, and he ain't getting fitter now.
That's what I'm saying,
It's very straight, and over-advising people in the corner is a big one that drives me nuts. When he gets here, he's doing this, go there, bro. It's like, bro, tell him to move his head and jab. Like, fucking chill out.
Simple. That's how I always tell people. I said, listen, especially like, because I said I coach as well, so I said, when it's fight week, and people I see some fighters are trying to do, I'm like, it's done. It's done, bro. You can't get stronger, fitter, anything within the next 2 days.
But you can fuck it up.
If you ain't got it already, then that's it. The only thing you can do is just get injured.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can overdo it.
So you just relax and just trust the process. Right. Like, if you haven't done the work or anything, that's the only time you start panicking. Right. But if you've done the correct stuff, then just relax.
Yeah. But that's an interesting thing too, you know, like overtraining versus undertraining. I almost think you're better off undertraining than overtraining.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if you undertrain, you're a bit unfit.
Yeah,
you get in there, you can kind of gut that out.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you get in there and you've overtrained and you're flat, there's no worse feeling. How many times you got in there in sparring when you go, today ain't the day, bro?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we've all been there, innit? Or lost too much weight or whatever it is, and you're just like, fucking hell. Like I feel flat now. And you almost get to the point, and you'll know this, is like, you don't care. You're just like, whatever.
Yeah, you're like
whatever.
Yeah.
Just, I'm defending myself and fuck it, let's just get through this and go home.
Yeah,
Versus if you're unfit, you've still got the bit between your teeth, haven't you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it is what it is. But how many amateur bouts do you end up having?
I can never remember how much amateur fights I had, you know.
So a lot then.
Yeah. I want to say 30 something.
But, oh yeah, so a decent amount. See, to me, that's a nice number too.
I mean, like, considering my club, that's pretty low. Cause
is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so the way amateur works is a lot of clubs are sponsored clubs.
Yeah.
So you know, like Repton, the big clubs like Repton, Fitzroy Lodge, Finchley, like they're like sponsored clubs. So what that means is they have home shows.
Yeah.
So when you have home shows, you're guaranteed at least 4 or 5 fights a year.
Yeah.
Miguel's is not a sponsored club.
Right.
It's almost like a semi-private club.
Yeah, I got you.
So they always going on away shows.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's always a bit more difficult to find up and say, hey, you got space for us, this and there.
Yeah, of course. My club, Earlsfield, I said to you beforehand, they're the opposite. They've always got home shows. So
There's always home shows.
So there's always million. Like there's a lot of times I've turned up for bouts, and not just me. There's a million people that have done this. You turn up, and the guy don't show up. You've got that problem versus like not the other one where you can't find anyone. Yeah. If you're at a club like that, like you're saying, if you want bouts, they'll fucking pump them at you, man. Yeah. You can have as many as you want. You can have one a week near enough if you want. You know what I mean? If you're fit and you're ready for it. But like from going to the amateurs, going back a step because I said 30 is quite a nice number. Some people, obviously, you don't want to go as a pro when you've had just a handful of fights. But at the same time, some people I think go dry in the amateurs. Yeah. They're on the GB team, for example, and they're waiting for the next Olympic cycle or Commonwealth, whatever it is. Do you know what I'm saying? And they kind of go stale in the amateurs and stay too long. Like with you, when you turned pro, what was the thinking behind it? Was it just like now's time?
I think the problem with me is, not the problem, but the way I did it was, because when I started training amateurs, I also trained with, we have a lot of pros here.
Yeah.
So when I started, there were a few pros. So I used to come in the daytime to try to get extra training. And then I started mixing into pros. Like I said, Isaac Dogbo was here, Rakeem Noble was here at the time, Chris Congo, a few other pros. But I used to always kind of like train with pros to get better. But then, obviously, the pro style and amateur style, it's different.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, so but obviously I used to train with the pros more. I started training them more because I was a similar weight to them.
Yeah.
I'd have to spar them, and then I would be doing the like 8 rounds, 10 rounds, 6 rounds, like longer rounds. And so I found, I started having more of a pro style.
Yep.
Then after a while I started finding amateurs a bit more difficult.
Right.
Because I felt like the weight it was going too quick. So I feel like, for me, my style just adapted to more of a pro style.
Yeah.
And after a while, the amateurs just wasn't working for me no more.
Yeah, and that's quite common, isn't it, to be fair? Like, and nowadays it might be a little bit different because the scoring in the amateurs is a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like it's scored a bit more like a pro bout now, so it might suit you a bit more. But like back in the day, it was like a fencing competition at times, wasn't it? You know, like you have to score, and we all know what it's like. You've been at them club shows. There's 3 old judges around the ring. Like, bless them, I'm not knocking anyone, but some of them are like too old to be my granddad. And like they're watching about, and you're going, you missed that punch. Do you know what I mean? Like you ain't really scored that, have you? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, without knocking people, but it's a bit of a different game now, I think, innit? Because from what I understand, that amateurs they score it more like rounds now, don't they? Like rounds, by rounds. So. When you're sparring with him, and actually Chris Congo, I don't know him personally, but I actually sparred with him actually back in the day at Earlsfield. He pinged my head for a nice little round. Shout out Chris. But I might have got a nice body shot in at one point, but we won't mention it. But no, so like going pro, when you turn pro, what are you 5-0-1 now, right? Undefeated. Yeah. Did my homework, mate. Don't worry about that. But like, when did you turn pro? What age were you?
2 years ago.
2 years.
No, I mean, if you're not counting this year. 2 years ago.
Yeah, so 2 and a bit years. So we say 2.5 years.
Yeah,
so it's still fairly late to turn pro.
Yeah, but I was meant to turn pro 2020.
Why? What happened 2020?
Exactly. We all know happened 2020. That added on 2 years onto everyone's life.
Yeah.
So that was just, Then after we came out of that, then I was going to turn pro again. And then I failed my eye test. You know, everyone works, you have to do the medical, right?
Right.
So with the medical, you got brain scan, like a blood urine test, pretty simple, and eye test, typical like Specsavers stuff. So everyone worries about the brain scan. Because if you fail the brain scan, that's it. You're finished.
This ain't for you. Yeah.
You can't go. We can't.
And
box.
this is like renewed every 6 months, I think.
Every year.
Every year. Okay.
Yeah. So the brain scan when I started was like £300. So that was 2022. ITIS was like typical £80 Specsavers, and blood test was like 1 something. So like just under £500. But I failed my ITIS, then they declined my license. They were like, nope, we can't go pro. I was like, after that, I was like, you know what? They said, try another opticians. Try another one. Try another one.
Try another opticians, was that their advice?
Yeah, then I failed 3 times, and I was like, I can't be bothered. I was like, this is
really,
wrong.
yeah.
I was like, how are you failing me on the eye test? I'm not fighting no one that's all the way over there. They're gonna be right in front of me. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I can't be bothered. This is stupid, man. You're failing me on that nonsense. And then I kind of gave up for a little bit, and like for like 6 months, then my friend was like, I phoned them, then they're like, oh, if you go to like a specialist, so ophthalmologist, so let me put it in perspective. Ophthalmologist, okay, compared to Specsavers is £50–60. Ophthalmologist, £300 to £500. If you're lucky, you get someone £300, nice. If you can't, you just have £500 ready. So I was like, what? I haven't even got in the ring yet. So imagine, brain scan's £300. That's gone up now to like 600. So I went to ophthalmologist. I paid, I think £400, £450. I went there. Believe me, they did exactly the same thing Specsavers did. Exactly the same thing.
Just charged you more.
Just charged me more. The guy asked me, why are you here? Like, the eyes are fine. You don't need to be here. I'm like, listen, I know. Just sign the paper and write a letter to the board and just explain to them, please.
Wow.
Then they did that and they passed me. But believe it or not, I have to do the same thing every year. And every year...
So now you've got to go to the £300+ man.
Every year it's the same thing.
So you know, like the advert, and the old school advert should have gone Specsavers.
Yeah,
You're saying none of that. Don't go Specsavers.
You got to upgrade. Upgrade. So every year I've got to do the same thing. Yeah. And you'd think they would know by now that.
Yeah.
Like, let me go with Specsavers. I've been doing this at least for 2–3 years now.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. We got to get a sponsor, man, and get all that shit sorted.
Yeah, anyone want to sponsor me?
Any ophthalmologists out there want to sponsor my guy? Fucking hell, reach out, sort his eyes out for him, just tick the box and we're all good. But so from that, like the headache, and I'll tell you, I won't go too deep on here, but I'll tell you after more. I had the brain scan thing once, right? And I know that it's quite funny. It wasn't funny at the time, but the doctor rang me in like a panic. You got to come in now. We got to do another one. You got this. You got that. And I'm like, I was about 23, 24. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm fine. What do you mean? I just had this for whatever. I'm boxing. Anyway, long story short, I go back and they gave me the contrast one. Yeah. And it was a similar thing. But because it was whatever it became, it was NHS, so I didn't have to pay for it in the end. But I was looking at a massive bill at one point. I was like, fucking hell. But anyway, they did the contrast thing and he was like, yeah, you're fine, I don't know what they're looking at.
In boxing, there's no NHS.
Yeah.
Everything is private.
Right.
So with the brain scan, normally you probably get an NHS. No. Yep. Go to the private doctors. Everything's private. The blood scan, private. Everything's private.
That's a fucker.
Obviously,
that's probably why they failed the first time, isn't it? No, you have to come back the second time.
Yeah,
By
exactly.
the way, pay again.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not silly, are they? Yeah, but like sponsors, reach out. If
anyone wants to go pro, I will tell people, if you want to go pro, before you even throw a punch in that ring, make sure, if you ain't got sponsors, make sure you got £1,000 there, ready to pay out.
Make sure your brain works, make sure you can see properly, your blood's okay, no AIDS, no nothing.
Exactly.
We're all straight, we're all ready to go. But like from that moment, like I'm getting you, what's the process after that?
After that, then, you get your license.
Is that it? That's quite straightforward.
Yeah, you pay for your license, another £200. So it's not just that. That's not the license, that's the medical. So then you got to pay for the license. That's like £187, probably £200. So then, once you got that, then you're fine. And then obviously, you get a manager, so everyone starts off.
Sorry, is this yearly you got to pay this money?
Yeah, yearly. Yearly.
They're not fucking around.
That's why I always say, listen, sometimes in boxing, I'm not sure, maybe other sports as well, it's not always the best person that makes it.
Right.
Because obviously some people, like, for example, say you had kids and stuff, and but you want to box, but you're thinking, £1,000 every year.
So you could have been in that same situation, but let's say you got 6 kids, you might go, fuck it.
Yeah, I think, nah,
we'll leave it. I'll go and work in Sainsbury's instead.
Exactly.
No more career.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I think not always the best boxers make it, so it all depends on if you got sponsors or you got some money behind, just make sure you have some money. And also, it's always good to have, like, a little following as well.
Yeah, but massive, isn't it? Especially nowadays with social media.
Social media, I'll tell you, if you've got a big following, it doesn't make you're gonna make it, but it means you're gonna have a smoother road.
You're in the door.
Yeah,
well, that's how we've got on this today, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like today, if there's no social media, we never meet, right? It's what it is, isn't it? So it's a funny world now, but like it's a tough game as well. Like how many people you know? I know, and again, I won't mention names because it will sound like the people that have gone further. I'm being disrespectful. I'm not. But some of my club mates have gone way further than other club mates that were way better. And when I say way better, there's a particular guy who, you know, it's such a waste. Like fucking hell, he could have been unbelievable, the most talented boxer I've ever been around. Do you know what I mean?
But he's probably quiet, very humble, not a talker.
Well, not really. There's a few other issues, but he just like if you watched him up close, like when I was sparring with him, like you'd go like, bro, fuck, you know, like this guy is. And then other guys that have gone pretty far, you'd spar them. You know, if you didn't know who they were after, you'd go, all right, just another guy in the gym, really. Do you know what I mean? But because obviously he's got the drive, the talent, or whatever to go to a certain level, but there's a lot of moving parts too, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of like, could be a fucked up medical. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah,
anything's like that. But anyway, so like, take us through your pros, mate. So when you turning pro, it's not that long ago, so it's not like we're talking about.
It was only a couple of years ago. So
but like, if we go when you turned pro, and even now, because again, it's still fairly early days, right? But like, what's your ambition in the sport?
I would say I want to do. I just want to have a great career, have some great fights, pick up a few titles. And I'll definitely want to fight for a world title.
Okay.
Obviously,
say win, bro. Don't say fight.
I'm being realistic. I'm being realistic. My division is stacked. It's stacked. So, obviously, if I fight for a world title, I want to try. I'm going there to win. I'm not going there to just lay down.
I was hoping you were going to call that Tank Davis after his recent mishap.
Listen, Tank's still good.
We get into that.
Tank's still good. Tank's still good. People don't know Tank will.
He was my choice before this happened. Pound for pound, if he's not number one, he's right there.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Terence Crawford's up there, all them kind of guys.
Yeah.
But he had a weird one. I won't cut you off. I'll let you carry on, and then we'll talk about it.
Definitely for a world title. I just want to be like a household name. And I just want to put Brixton on the map. Again, Brixton's already on the map.
You're on squeeze the neck now, bro. We call this as making it round here.
Man. So Brixton's already on the map. Obviously, we've got Dylan, Chamberlain and that. But I want to do my part for Brixton as well.
Ah, brilliant. Nice. And like from going forward now, it's the start of the year. Have you boxed this year yet?
No, I got, so we have a fight in May and June, just finalising the last few details.
Nice. And what's ideal for you in a year? How many do you want?
I say 4 or 5.
Nice.
But I'm being realistic because, as I said before, that's what I was going to say to you. So, when you first start out, you got to sell tickets, as you know.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you have.
If you can't sell tickets,
don't bother.
Then don't bother. As I said, the first few fights, 1, 2, 3, people were like, yeah, you're fighting. The first one, everyone's going to come to it. So my advice for people that are turning professional is, when you go to sell your first fight,
sell them 2 tickets at once.
when you can make all your money from your first ticket, don't go holiday, save that and reinvest into the second fight.
Yeah, right. Buy your own tickets.
Yeah, literally. Just in case you can't, because in boxing, the minimum, let's just say a round number, you got to sell is £3,000 a ticket, £3,000 worth of tickets. That's for 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Obviously, you do more rounds, you go up higher.
So you got to sell what? Realistically, 70 tickets, something like that, somewhere around there, which doesn't sound like much, but then when you go, okay, cool, I'm going to give it to Dave, I'm going to give one to Pete, and my dad will buy one, and then you go, fuck me, hang on.
And then you got to fight another fight 2 months later. Like, what? Then you just fight
again?
Another one was like, no, chill out now.
Right.
So, definitely when you're turning out, you definitely want to have a good fan base.
Right.
Or if not, you got to have a little bit of money behind you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well. And I think a lot of people wouldn't realise that. Like, if you're early on, if you sell tickets versus if you can't sell tickets, you will literally have an easier route. Because like, if you're the guy selling tickets, they don't want you to lose, do they?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Whereas if you turn up and you go, hi, I'm Sammy, I'm a good boxer, but I've only sold 5 tickets, I ain't got no mates. And they'll go like, all right, cool, you can fight fucking this geezer. And he's like on the come up like you've got a hard fight from day one.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, I'm Sammy, and there's 5,000 tickets I've sold, don't worry about it. You fight Fat John from the pub. Do you know what I mean? It is that world, isn't it? And people think it doesn't happen, but it does.
It does. A lot of people don't understand because they just see boxing, they just see the limelight, like Floyd, Joshua, they think, you're making money already. Yeah. But people don't understand, like, so some people that go professional, they can't bother to sell tickets. It's too much headache for them. So they go down the journeyman route. Yeah. So for them, it's like more of a hobby.
Right.
They just do
it's a job, isn't it? They get a paycheck because they box every week, right?
Box every week, get paid. it's fine for them. They still do something they enjoy.
Yeah. And if they've got a record, for anyone again who doesn't know what a journeyman is, they might have a record of 100 bouts, they've lost 97, they've won 3, but they try and basically not get knocked out so they don't get a suspension so they can box next week.
But some of them are actually really good boxers.
Yeah, 100%
Most of them are really good boxers.
Of course they are, because the thing is with this, there's levels of journeyman too.
Yeah, of course.
There's entry-level journeyman, right? But then there's a journeyman who's fighting, I don't know, like...
Yeah, like the gatekeepers.
Exactly, like Anthony Joshua when he first turned over. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's maybe not the best example because he was boxing people, he was on the route, he's an Olympic gold medalist. But someone like, I don't know, Adam Azim comes to mind now when he first turned over. Do you know what I mean? Like some of the first people he was boxing, they ain't idiots, are they? Do you know what I mean? But they're just up against it from day one, you know? And like if you're going in there as a guy who's in that situation, can't sell tickets, I'm boxing, I want to box next week. Good luck with that because you ain't gonna have an easy road, are you?
Definitely not.
And with promoters as well come into play, don't they? Because how many people you know, I ain't got a promoter. And you go like, well, it's a hard road, isn't it?
And promoters want people out on there because at the end of the day, it's a business. So for the promoters, it's like, why are they gonna put you on their show if you can't sell tickets? Right. You're not making the money, so why are you going to put you on? There's only a certain amount of slots they have.
That's it. Unless they're investing in you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you turned over and you're some 18-year-old kid or
Olympics or whatnot.
Yeah, then it's a bit of a different thing because if you can market someone, like I'll give you an example that comes to mind. Benn Whitaker, looks the part, been to the Olympics, talks not too much, talks a lot. Do you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. He's easy to promote, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Versus if he was in the same boat. He doesn't talk and he comes on the camera, he doesn't look like he does. And to put the camera in front of him, the mic in front of him, and he goes, yeah, I just want to, box. Who's promoting that? You can understand it, can't you? Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, if you're Mike Tyson and you're knocking people dead, that counts too, right?
Exactly. Yeah. There's different ways to do it. I mean, like, I would say, listen, it's about how you market yourself. Not everyone can be humble, and not everyone can be loud. But you got to figure out what works for you.
I think being authentic goes a long way.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than someone who's not naturally like that, trying to be like the Conor McGregor style. It's brutal. You look at them and you go, mate, just don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. You know what I mean? But I think, I don't know. I mean, with the social media side of things now, there's undeniable positives, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think people lose themselves in that kind of like, I've got to act this way. I know people, and again, I won't mention names for obvious reasons, that ain't at that level at all. But they've got 10,000 followers, and they go, right, for this one on this, and they're hi guys, for this, and you go, bro, you can't even jab properly. Don't worry about that.
I've seen people like that. I've seen people that's like, you'd think, like, for example, they've had a terrible career and whatnot, then they're giving advice and say this and that and that, but it's all social media, So I would say social media is good and bad. Yeah. Because it gives everyone a voice. And everyone doesn't deserve a voice, sadly.
Some people don't
Everyone doesn't deserve a voice.
No.
But, I mean, it has its positives.
Of course it does, yeah, absolutely. And like, well, the other side of that as well is the coaching side of things.
Yeah.
How many pad men do you see doing?
Oh, yeah.
Roll on it, and you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, with coaching, for me personally, I always say, look, there's more than one way to cook a chicken. So obviously, you don't have to be the same like everyone else.
No.
Okay? But, with that being said, some people are trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Like, they will make you, you're trying to do something that's already been, if done already, like, you're doing the same thing, but you're trying to make it like your way of doing it.
Yeah. Well, people do try and get people doing advanced skills and they can't jab and move their fucking head. Do you know what I mean? How often you see someone like on the pads? Mate, you've done this as well, probably more than me, right? You see someone on the pads, slip, slide, million different instructions. You go, fucking hell, he looks good. You get in the ring, punch his fucking head because he can't actually fight. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Is what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you know Julio Cesar Chavez is, obviously, right? Have you ever seen him try? I don't know whether, I can't remember if it's him and someone else. It's either pads or the speedball, one or the other.
I think probably the speedball.
It might be the speedball.
He can't do it.
He can't do it.
Who else can't do it? Someone else can't do it as well. I mean, even, I'm trying to remember, I think Ryan Garcia can't skip properly.
Can't skip properly, can't do things. And it's weird, and like pads as well. Like some people can't do pads.
I don't really personally like getting pads that much.
Yep.
Because
I'm with you, mate. I'm 100% with you.
I'll
tell you where I like pads. Where I like pads is when you've got a good coach in front of you.
Yeah.
He makes you jab, move your head. Makes you jab, block, jab, step back. 1, 2, move that way. But none of this like, fancy 1, 2, roll, move it, it's like, thanks, mate.
You'll make it realistic.
I'll see you next week. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need all that stuff. And to me, it's like anything. Overcomplicated training is becoming a thing, probably due to people watching and making videos. Yeah. But something like one that comes to mind.
It was trying to go viral, isn't it?
Of course it is. But if you ever see Rocky Marciano train, have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Like some of these videos, you start watching it and you go, the fuck is this? Like a joke. But then you keep watching it and you go, it's just hard work, man. He's just thumping that bag, and he's obviously clearly working on something specific. He can't even skip properly. If you ever see look up Rocky Marciano skipping. That's a great one. He does it with like his arms, and he's doing all this kind of madness. So like, but apparently he can fight. Yeah. So it is what it is. But before we sound like dinosaurs and rant on, take us for sort of 2 years from now. You're coming into, because you're in your 30s now, right? Yeah. So like, do you have a timeline in mind of when you want to stop boxing, or are you not even in that mind?
I'm not in that mindset yet, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about having great fights.
Yeah.
Achievements, and just cementing myself.
Yeah, cementing what, Brixton legend, or are we going a bit further afield than that?
Further than that. Of course, further than that. I'm gonna be well known.
Yeah, that's what we want, isn't it? That's it. That's the way, mate. And from like your situation of I don't want to say starting late, because you didn't start late, really. You was just later than what you'd think. Yeah. But like going through the amateurs and now going pro, like obviously I'm sure training's changed. Like, what's a typical week of training look like for you now? Both when you haven't got a fight and when you have got a fight?
The thing is, I try to stay training year round.
I can tell you, I mean, do you know what I mean? Like most people I speak to on here, to be honest, and I think that's more of a new age thing as well, is everybody's in shape all the time. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like before, even in the amateurs, you know people that have like a little run of bouts and they box at 71 and then they come in the gym and they're 84, fat, and you go, But them days I think are dying out, aren't they?
I think fitness has become a lifestyle now.
It has to. I think people realise, don't they? Like you can't do that. And that's why back in the day when people got to 32, they were finished. Because they'd done that.
They say that Ben used to smoke after he fights and stuff, but I don't know if he actually did. I wasn't there.
Well, he speaks about it. I think he did. I think it sounds like he used to go. He said on a.
I used to think, how the hell does he do that?
Well, he said he used to go on like when he'd fight, he'd go on like a 3-day bender. He wouldn't go home for 3 days. Like he was just out and about, and like that would last for ages and whatnot.
But funny thing is everyone that's like, I'm not recommending this to no one. I'm just saying, I'm not recommending, but it's that I've noticed that like all the like, I want to say, special talented people. Okay, if we talk about nowadays, they're always doing madness.
Yep.
After they fight, like Mike Tyson,
for sure.
John Jones,
he'll
come do a madness. Yeah. Like.
But you know what I think that is as well. As much as like obviously they're natural, they've got something natural anyway. But I think a big part of it is the mental kind of like after a fight, just get out of there mentally. Do you know what I'm saying? Like obviously the stuff they're doing for their body's not good, but I think you can get away with it for a while. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas if you're constantly stressed, like this is another thing too. I've said this on here before. Like you know people that come in here, they've got all the right supplements, they got all the gear, they go to sleep at 8 o'clock, but they're no good, right? They're average at best. Do you know what I mean? Because they put too much stress on themselves. So that takes away from the other shit. Whereas I think if you like go home, you've had a fight, you've got 3 weeks to do what you want before you jump into another camp or whatever you want to do, and you have that mental like. I think that's what goes a long way. 100%. You know what I mean?
100%.
You can't be stressed all the time.
You can't drive a car 100 miles every day.
That's it.
Car will eventually break down.
That's it. And that's what I'm getting at. Like, you know, if you're a man that's 20s, 30s, coming up to 40s even, really, and you decide for 2 weeks after a fight, not that I'm recommending this or that I'd do this or anything like that, but you're going to go and eat McDonald's and drink beers every night and stuff like that. As long as you're not doing that for months on end, it ain't the end of the world, right? So I think your body can buffer that, right? I mean, like, and you've had that mental checkout.
Yeah, everyone's got as you said, the mental checkout. Yeah. Everyone's got the outlet they like to do. Some people like to just go on holiday. Yeah. Some people like to chill with their family. Whatever it is, everyone's got the little downtime they do after a fight, just to give your body a break and just give you time to reset and recover.
But I think that's the way too. Like, I mean, obviously I wasn't boxing at that level, but like if I'd had an amateur bout on a Saturday night, Elsfield trained Sunday morning, I'd be there. I ain't gonna sleep till 1 o'clock the next morning. I'm buzzing from the fight the night before I get up early to go full. Now at the time you're like, I'm dedicated. But you look back and you go, stupid. Rest. Should have slept. Should have slept. Come back Tuesday. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, but I think you can get your own way.
As you're in the sports for a longer period of time, you kind of learn. You start working smarter. You become smart about it, so you realise you don't have to be doing this, that, everything.
That's right. Well, here's the thing, and we'll get back to your training in a minute because I've definitely took you off on a tangent. But like, also, I know people that have done fairly well by being quite lazy. And now the reason I think this works for them is because they've got that mindset of, whereas if someone's like dedicated this, I have to be at training 5 minutes early, that's another stress, isn't it? Whereas they kind of like,
more relaxed.
I don't feel like training today, I'll rest. So the next day when they come back, they're chill, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? So they're getting the most out of their training again. Whereas you might be a bit, and not you specifically, but if you're the other way, you might be stressed from the day before, your fucking elbows, and do you know what I'm saying? It works against you. So, I mean, I guess I don't know what my point is here, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah, you got balance. As I said, training doesn't need to be strenuous or stressful, but it needs to be taken serious.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think we get caught up in this day and age sometimes of people of like work hard.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if you're gonna any combat sport, you're gonna have to work. Any sport in general, you're gonna have to work hard. But the goal shouldn't be working hard, right? The goal's getting better.
Yeah, working smart. Exactly. You have to work smart.
Exactly. And if today you've trained really hard, and tomorrow you train really hard, and the next, eventually there's a wall, right?
Yeah.
So at a certain point, the better thing than the next day just coming back and working hard again is, you know what, today, Sammy, just go home, chill out, watch Netflix and relax. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a time to do that.
Of course. Like today, you said you saw me training. Today's my chill day.
Yeah.
So I'm fasting. So obviously, I ain't got enough high energy as I would.
Sorry, I'm drinking water in front of you, man.
It's fine.
If I'd have known, I wouldn't have done it.
Everyone else is drinking water. It's fine. So
no more water.
I just did a little bit of like a weight circuit.
Yeah.
Just a bit of strength and conditioning stuff, pretty light. Oh, so it's like it's nothing strenuous.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna be like gasping for air or I'm gonna need to be.
But that comes down to it as well. I think like you're training to make yourself better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not training to grind to see how hard you can push. And that's definitely something I think most people that are in combat have fallen into at certain periods. Every day is like empty the tank.
There's a time for that.
There's a time
for that.
But it's a short window, isn't it? Like, which is again, we're bringing it back to your training for a fight. Like, but you obviously what we got off on a tangent about is training all year. But like, if you've got a fight coming up, like, what point before does things change a bit in like it's geared in for a fight?
I've got a fight, so as soon as I know I've got a fight, then obviously camp starts.
But what's an ideal time frame for like, right, okay, now?
I mean, like, the thing is, because as I said to you, I'm always like, I'm near there.
Yeah.
Never off, because with me, I'm always like, either I'm in camp or in other people's camp.
Right.
So a lot of different pros, they've got fights coming up, so they might call me, hey, I need some sparring. Can you just, help me out, this and that? I need you for this week, next week. So I've also got to be like relatively fit and be able to do like 8, 10 rounds sometimes. So I can never be like, oh, you know what, I can only do 2 rounds. So I'm always like near optimal fitness. Yeah. So like, I would say 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, sure.
Back in,
Yeah. And what's the training camp look like? I say camp, like it's not camp necessarily, you're always fit. But if you, like, let's go through a week. Like if you come in on a Monday through Sunday, what's rest days? How many times a day you're training?
So Monday is, so go for a run in the morning, come to the gym. Monday is like defense, footwork stuff. So obviously do your stuff, warm up, or not, skip, whatever. Then we do some defense drills, some technical stuff. Monday is very technical. Then we do some footwork stuff. Then after that, we go a bit of bag work, practice the bag work. Then finish off with a little circuit, pretty light. Then might do, depending if I got a fight or not, I'm trying to make weight. Then it would depend on what part of the, I might train again later. If I don't have like a fight or something, then that's pretty much it. Then that's it. Tuesday is explosive work. So Tuesday is explosive, so I don't really do much boxing on Tuesday. Sprints, a lot of sprints, a lot of interval stuff. So it might be go to the track, do some hill sprints, then might come to the gym and do some explosive work, might do some plyometrics. Wednesdays usually the day we spar. So depending on how the sparring is going to go, I might run in the morning or run at night.
Right.
Because obviously I need my legs for sparring and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
is this depending on who's coming in?
Yeah.
If you know you've got,
Sometimes you say, you know what? Sometimes you know you're going to have a hard spar.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to have a hard
I'll
spar.
run later. Yeah.
Maybe we just run later because, you know what, I need my legs.
Yeah.
So, so either I'm going to be going to another gym to spar or I'll be sparring here. Then, depends how much rounds I do, whatever. They might come back, do a bit of bag work, might do some pad work, some technical stuff. Then I said might run in the evening, then pretty chilled. Thursday, strength and conditioning, do a bit of strength and conditioning in the mornings, might do a bit of skipping as well. Friday, run in the morning, come to the gym, technical work, We do a lot of drills on Fridays, a lot of technical stuff. Do a bit of wrestling as well. Learning how to grapple and tie up. That's it. Saturday, bit of strength and conditioning again. Then Sunday, chill, go for like a light, steady run.
Yeah.
But if it's in camp, everything is light. Everything done, as I just said, it's times 2.
Yeah, right. I got you. But it's all, that all seems very like geared towards getting better, do you know what I mean? It's not like on Tuesday I'll smash it, on Wednesday I'll smash it. No. It's like, that's like very simple in a lot of ways, right? But
I can't go 100 miles, I can't go like, okay, Wednesday I'm gonna go hard, Monday I'm gonna go, I can't go hard every day. Eventually, I always say, listen, it's either you listen when your body whispers, or you can listen to when your body screams at you.
I like that,
When you start getting injured, you're like, oh, this hurting, and then stuff. Then
Too late then, isn't it?
You have to listen.
Yeah.
You have to stop training, you got to rest now to recover, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. But you better be in the gym more often,
I mean, like, as I said, as you've been in the sport a long time, you start to get smart. When I first started, I used to do all sorts of stuff, like train hard. I would get shoulder injuries, plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
Sure everyone's had all sorts of stuff. Then you're like, oh, you know what, I've got to take a break.
The avoidable injuries, they're ones that you
pull a hamstring,
you didn't
all
need
sorts
that,
of stuff. And you're like, now you're out for like 2-3 months. You have no choice but to chill.
Yeah, and what's sparring like for you? Because that's a point that I think has come up in the last few years, and I'm dead against it. You know, like people want to do like, we don't spar hard anymore, we do it. Like to me, when it's time to spar, you got to spar. You're getting ready for a fight, right?
Yeah.
You got to spar.
Yeah, I always say there are two different types of sparring. So you need the hard spar to get your body ready for it.
Yeah.
With the intention of how the fight's going to be. And you got technical spar. We do a lot of technical spar as well. So like, we've got Fridays, we do a lot of technical spar with children and stuff. Like, we're still trying to hit each other and expose each other's mistakes. Yeah. But we're not going as hard as we would on Wednesday.
Right.
So Wednesday, obviously, as I said, we go to different gyms and stuff. Some people might be getting ready for fights. So my idea is, you want to try expose all your partner's weaknesses before they go to an actual fight, and their opponent does it.
Yeah. Knowing Miguel's versus no under the lights at the fucking O2, right? That's what you want to know. Because like, one thing I picked up a lot from grappling is like, I started grappling after boxing, but like, is picking people sometimes that you know you're better than in certain areas. So you're not under you're not under like the crazy stress of a fight, if that makes sense. But you can, you know, if you get caught slipping, they're going to pay you for it. Do you ever do sort of that kind of? Because I've done it in boxing sparring as well. Yeah. And like with boxing, it's a little bit. You're not getting caught in something, so you can kind of. It's a bit of a slower process. If me and you are doing something and you decide to go slow and I punch you in the head, I punch you in the head, right? That's not for free, right? Yeah. Whereas, like, do you see where I'm coming from? Whereas if there's more sort of wiggle room in grappling because it's like, okay, cool, you got my arm, I'm not going to let you break it. We go again, I'll try again. But if you punch me in the head, I'll punch you in the head. That counts, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas there's kind of different elements in striking.
That's why technical sparring is good because in technical sparring, as I said, we're still sparring. Right. So if you make a mistake, like you keep dropping your right hand, then I think, you know what, you dropped your right hand, I feel a left hook. Yeah. Then I'm like, you dropped it like 3 times. What do you expect? Like, don't blame me, blame yourself. Like, I'm just showing you that, look, this is the mistake you keep making. Yeah. Now it's up to you if you want to fix it. Right. And if you ain't going to fix it, I'm just going to throw it again until you eventually fix it.
Another left hook for you.
Yeah. I'll just keep throwing it until you fix it. Then you'll be like, okay, clearly I don't want to be getting here.
Right. And do you have regular sparring partners, or do you like? Oh, I'm sure we all have regular sparring partners, right? Yeah. But like, I'm assuming during camp, it's a bit more specific to your opponent or whatnot. Is that where you start traveling?
Yeah. I mean, like, we have regular sparring partners. I mean, like, I got a good friend of mine, IQ. The IQ gym in North London, they're a very good friend of mine.
Wrong side of the river though, so fuck them. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, no, it's only one train, so they got loads of people my weight there. So we always go there for sparring. I help them out, they help me out, and we get a lot of good fighters there. Nice. So they got a lot of good fighters. So
yeah, it's good. I'll tell you what I like doing in different gyms as well. Sometimes is it's not your home, so you're not as relaxed, right? So it's not quite fight night, but at the same time you go in there sometimes and it's a bit like I'm not quite as comfortable as I normally am. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think, me personally, I think that's what helped me improve to where I am.
And that's what I'm getting at. I think it's a good feeling to have, innit?
Yeah, because when I first started out, I used to just travel to different gyms and to spar by myself.
You were just that guy. Like,
yeah, I would just message someone, hey, like, what? You want to get some rounds? And I'll just go there. Me, my gum shields, head guard, training stuff. I'll just get there. They're like, oh, isn't your coach coming? I'm like, nah, he's not coming. But don't worry about it. Like. Nice. Like, I don't need water during the break or anything, just do the rounds. And that's it, like, do it, and eventually, because you know you're in someone else's hometown, they're not going to let you come and show them up. No. So they're going to be trying to put it on you. So you have to level up whatever they're bringing.
Yeah.
So eventually that forces you to get better. Either you get better or they drag you, you get better.
Yeah. Works both ways too, doesn't it? Like
exactly.
when I've been in Earlsfield at times where other clubs would come to us a lot for sparring.
Yeah.
We didn't typically travel to anywhere for sparring. Because have you been to Earlsfield Boxing Club?
Yeah.
It's a big gym, innit?
Yeah,
like there's lots of space. So like guys would come down, and like if Finchley, for example, came down, like there's an energy about the gym, innit? Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like sort of looking around like he's about my weight. Fucking hell, I'm gonna spar with him in a minute. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, like you said, this is our house, right? We can't get fucking turned over, especially not from a crew from North London. No. But do you know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain element of getting out of that comfort that I think
you need
is a benefit. But at the same time, I think there's an element of like, you need to come in here on a Monday in Miguel's, it's your home. And
of course.
Like, I'm relaxed now. I don't need to be stressed all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a balance.
Yeah, it's a balance in that. We keep saying that, it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But like when you go to fights and stuff like that, we see all different types of personality in the change room, right? Beforehand, some people are pacing, some people just sit there, they got the music in, some people are, don't touch me, don't come near me. What's your sort of personality in the change room?
I'm just like this, I'm just chill.
Just chill, I was going to say you seem like a chill guy.
I'm just chill, to be honest with you, like, because I think to myself, look, there's no point in me panicking or nothing. I can't do anything until I step in that ring. Like, until the ref says ding ding, what can I do? I'm going to panic, make myself nervous. I'm going to get tired from nervous energy. I'm going to stress about what could happen, what he made. Like, until the ref says go or the fight starts, I can't do anything. He can't do anything. So there's no point in stressing about it.
It's true, but like most people, that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
How many times you see someone in the room like screaming at themselves?
Yeah, but it takes. I was always like this. I'm gonna say it takes years of experience.
I was a pacer. My coach said to me once, I've said this on here before. He went, "Fuck me, Ollie, sit down. You're doing the carpeting." Like, I was pacing up and down. You know what I mean? But it's fun. Like you said, I'll tell you one that always sticks with me is the guy that asks too many questions. And then when this happens, and you go, "Bro, get away! I don't want that catching." You know what I'm saying? You're too fucking nervous.
I mean, like. Because I said I do a bit of coaching as well, so sometimes I go in people's corners for fights and stuff, and they're like asking like, "Oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, what if he hits me hard? Oh no!
Go home, bro."
I'm like, chill, just relax, man. You're making me nervous. Just relax.
Yeah, forget it.
Nothing's happened yet. Just breathe, go out there, enjoy yourself. I always tell people, listen. All you want to do is give your best performance. That's it. Once you just focus on performing the best you can. And then the result will be the result.
That's it. Let the cards fall, or whatever the saying is. Just let it be. Yeah.
You stressing now is going to make you go out there and you're going to perform shit in front of everyone, and you're going to be like, oh, it wasn't mine. Oh, what was that?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't my best performance, but next time, like, no, just go out there, give your best performance, and we'll see what will be.
That's it, man. That's the one. And I'll tell you one thing that I'd like to get into a little bit. Like we mentioned it slightly there. The big fight coming up in there. Benn and
Chris.
Eubank. You mentioned Nigel Benn or whatever. Now, like there's a big situation going on with them too, and it seems pretty genuine, doesn't it? You know, like we spoke earlier about some people being fake. This don't seem too fake to me. This is. You got much of an opinion on this fight?
Obviously.
From all angles, what you think? Who you like?
It's great. It's a great fight. Obviously. I mean, like when they first turned pro, obviously Chris turned pro before Conor. You always knew, I always knew along the line, they would have to fight somehow, some way, at some weight class. It's
too big not to happen.
It's too big not to happen. It's bigger. It's one of them fights that's bigger than boxing. You know, because obviously the rivalry from their dads and stuff, the great British class, and then now both sons are turning pro,
and they're genuine. Like they're cut from that cloth. They're not faking it. Like not that we're knocking anyone here, but like other pros, we won't mention names, but they've got famous pros that sons turning over. You look at them and you go, I think you're trying to be a daddy. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. You're not from this. You know what I mean? Whereas like these two, they're the real deal.
They're the real deal. Yeah. And I think personally, it's a great fight. I mean, like obviously they was meant to fight. Was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, but obviously it didn't happen because of the allegations that was made.
Which I want to get into too. Like allegations, what do you think there?
I don't know because I wasn't there. But look, I don't know because I think when you get to a certain level of boxing, there's all sorts of things that happen behind closed doors. So
I know what I think.
So it's hard to say. Did he or didn't he? I can't say for sure. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't but I don't know.
I know what you're saying. And like, the thing that strikes me straight away with the fight, before we get into ability or anything like that, I don't think, people are talking about it, but I don't think people quite realise how significant the size difference is. The size difference is massive.
Eubank is a middleweight.
But have you ever seen him in person?
Yeah, Conor Benn is like what? I think he's like my height.
Right. The size difference is like, I think if people saw him close in person, they'd go, oh, wow. This is like, but again, that can work both ways. Because if Chris is fucked at the weight, this could be a terrible night for him. Like, which I think played into it against Liam Smith, didn't it? Not that I'm fucking making excuses for him or anything, but like, it's a part of it, right? But the significant size difference, I just feel like, I'll ask your opinion, but like for me, I think if they're both at their best, I personally think this is a bit of a mismatch. I personally think if they're both switched on, Eubank beats him out of sight, and this will get to about the mid-rounds, and Benn will just be all over the shop, and it will be like worn down to the point of he's got nothing left.
I do personally think Eubank does have the upper hand in this. Yeah. Obviously, Conor Benn says it how many times that he is coming up in weight or whatnot. But I do favour Chris Eubank for this. I mean, like, everyone knows there's weight classes for a reason. Like, especially you got to edge your way into it, you know. And Chris Eubank, I mean, like, on his night, Chris Eubank's good. He's a quality fighter. Yeah. There's certain things he does really well. I mean, Conor Benn's still good as well. But again, he's coming up in weight. Yep. So obviously he does bet himself. But I just can't see it.
I can't. Well, here's the thing. The only way I could see it is if Eubank's chin's not quite there.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, there was an issue in the Liam Smith fight, the first one. We've seen him fight since then, and it seems all fine. Now, whether there was something off that night, because we all know there's certain days, whether it's in a fight or in the gym, you turn up and you're just like, today ain't the day. And if that day happens to be in front of thousands of people on TV and you get chinned, you're fucked, aren't you? But like, I think a switched on Eubank is far too much for him. And also, here's the thing, and it sounds like I'm shitting on Conor Benn. I'm not. I'm just being completely objective.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like there's a bit of a myth about he's such a massive puncher. I think he's got 23 wins and 14 knockouts. Now he's a puncher, but we're not talking about like a Mike Tyson type.
No. I don't think Conor Benn. I don't think he's a massive puncher like people are making it. It's more of a accumulation.
Yeah, exactly.
More of like a wear and tear. Like,
and that's when a big man's in front of you.
It's different, yeah.
It's a different thing, man. Like we all know, like sparring. Like I'm sure you've done loads of sparring. I did loads of rounds with people that were a lot bigger than me. Yeah. But you'd do it for like 2 or 3 rounds. Now for 2 or 3 rounds, I can go pretty full pelt, right? So if you watch them rounds, you go, fucking hell, that little guy's bashing him up. But at the same time, I'm not there 10 rounds down the road when I've slowed down. Because now I've slowed down and I've got a big man in front of me. Do you see what I'm saying? That counts, man. Like, and I think if he's still there, which I think he will be after that 4-6 round period, I think Conor Benn's going to find himself up against it and go like.
And we don't know if Conor Benn does have carry, he does carry some power.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But we don't know how that power is going to transfer to the bigger weight.
Exactly.
You don't know if it's still going to be the same. You hitting someone at welterweight and you hitting someone at middleweight, it might not be the same.
And especially if you're trying.
Yeah, exactly.
If I come at headhunting you, it ain't the same, is it? Versus if you're just flowing and we're the same size and I'm pinging and I'm moving and the shots start to land, that's when they hurt, right? Whereas like Conor Benn keeps talking, I don't know, it's for cameras a lot of it, but he's coming at like, I'm going to get him early and stuff. I go, I think
he knows. Conor Benn knows. Yeah. Conor Benn knows. I think obviously he's doing a very good job of selling the fight and promoting it. Yeah. But he knows he can't go toe-to-toe with Chris Eubank or...
I don't think he can, but I think a part of him thinks he can. I think a part of him thinks he can.
He can't.
You can't. I don't think you can.
If I was anything, you'd have to outspeed him. Yeah. You have to collect the early rounds. Yeah. You'd have to collect the much early rounds as possible. Like, that would be the ideal.
Well, Eubank's fought at super middleweight too, which is, you know, and he fought George Groves. You ever met George Groves in person?
Yeah. He's been down here a few times.
Like, how big is that man for super middleweight? You look at him and you go, how?
Fuck.
Anyway, side note, he's massive. Eubank stood in with him. Now I know he got beat convincingly, but he was in there till the end. Like he was giving it, and he weren't going nowhere. And George Groves is a massive puncher from 2 weights up, right? Yeah. Now, what Groves said about him too, and I don't know if this is word for word, maybe someone can help me out, but it was like he said, Eubank's not a massive puncher for super middleweight, but he had world-class strength up close. Like, hey, if you've got world-class strength against someone like George Groves, surely you're going to throw Conor Benn all over the place.
And you know as well from grappling, when you don't have to tie someone up, Tyson Fury is very good at like holding and stuff. When you hold this, because Tyson Fury is bigger than most people, when you hold them, tie them up, and you're leaning on them, just trying to stand up alone wears out your legs.
Of course it does, yeah.
And so...
your neck, your shoulders, everything.
So we don't know how Conor's legs are going to be holding up for the later rounds. Yeah. Again, we don't know how fresh Eubank he's going to be to later on, because he might, you know, we don't know if he's going older or age might caught up with him.
That's it. But that's the thing, isn't it? That's my thing. When people like, a lot of people keep asking me like in grappling because they know I've boxed and whatnot. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And my answer basically is if Eubank's still there, it beats him easy.
Of course.
Easy.
Of course.
I think, and you know, I don't say that disrespectfully to Conor. It's not like a favourite thing. Like I hope. Although, you know, if you ask me to pick who I'd want to win, I'd lean to Eubank because I like his style, whatever. But have you got a favourite in that?
I do go with Chris Eubank.
You go with Eubank, yeah. So there you go. Squeeze the neck pick is Chris Eubank for now, anyway, unless we see something come out. So we've got, what are we now sitting here from this? Like, this will come out a bit later, but I think it's about 6 weeks' time, isn't it? The fight?
Yeah, 26th of April.
26th of April. Have you got tickets by any chance? You got your juice on the field? We might get there.
Not yet, no.
I'm reaching out to everyone.
You know what? Yeah, I said, you know what? If I don't get tickets to the fight, that might just show it. Hey, you know, might just get a few people down, get a big screen, get some.
Mate, if that happens, hook me up. I'm coming down Miguel's.
We'll come down here, watch it, and get some people to ring.
Mate, I'm coming to Miguel's if I don't get a ticket, because everyone, like, you know, like the go-tos, you normally ask for boxing tickets. They go, I should be able to get a ticket. I might be able. Everyone, no, I can't this time, mate. No, it's like, fuck,
sold out.
Sold out. Have you been to Tottenham's ground by any chance?
Where?
Tottenham's football ground.
Yeah.
Because everyone says it's like brilliant over there, right? I've never been, so like I want to.
I've been there once.
Have it? Okay. What's it like? Good ground.
Nice, big, yes, nice.
Shit football team, but good ground. But we'll get into that in a sec. But like coming up now, mate. When's your next fight? You got one lined up? You said.
Hopefully May. I say May the 8th. So I'm just trying to finalise the last few deals. It's not cemented yet. Yeah.
This won't come out for about 5 weeks. So if there's something you can say that you in that time, we'll cut it or whatever. So
So May, hopefully May. Hopefully trying to get 2 fights May and June. Then I got to renew my license in July.
Another brain scan, another ophthalmologist.
Another £1,000 just like that. So I'm trying to get these 2 fights in just before I have to do that. Then hopefully at the end of the year, I'll be trying to challenge for my first title. So let's see what can be done.
Nice one, mate. Well, look, I really appreciate you doing
this.
This has been a fun one. Maybe we'll do this again. We'll stay in touch for sure.
Definitely,
I'll be down at Miguel's at some point. We'll get some training in. Before we finish up, there's a question I always ask, most important question. What football team do you support?
Do you know what,
Chelsea, go, my guy.
You know, I don't really watch football that much, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You worried me earlier when I said, have you been to Tottenham Football Ground? You went, yeah. I was like, don't say you're a Spurs fan.
No, I'm not a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't really watch football. Right. I'll be honest with you.
I got you. But we're sitting on blue. You got blue shirt on. Might as well call it Chelsea at this point, don't we?
I mean, they're the closest one to South London.
My guy, top man. I appreciate you, man. As I said, we'll do this again for sure.
Definitely,
I'll be down with Miguel's. We'll watch some boxing, all that. I always finish with a fist up like this, mate. Squeeze the neck. Boom!